minute, is that right?
A couple of minutes.
A couple of minutes. Okay, very quickly then. OER reuse for this week. Something that David and Marion are likely to do, actually. We had a number of different learning objectives. The one we chose was be able to apply the correct CC licensing to a particular resource.
And understand what the heck they are.
Yeah, so 2 areas there, looking at what the range of Creative Commons licensing is and being able to assess and apply that to a particular resource and get some comment on that. The activities to support that, we just chose 2. The first one was to get an idea about what copyright really is and what it means, and I've based this on reusing a copyright quiz that was very well used at a Brussels conference I was at, which is very fun. For example, with questions, if you take a photo of the Statue of Liberty, who actually owns it, etc. So there's a lot of fun stuff to do about copyright and legal to raise awareness. The way we do that would then be got an MCQ, so you have got some form of self-assessment there. So we'd be bringing in a set of resources, which could be anything, images, audio, etc. Out of that, we'd then want to have some kind of heads to camera about copyright and Creative Commons. Why not use Lawrence Lessig? Use an OER within the OER week and do one of his lectures, which are excellent, about Creative Commons licensing, why it's good, copyleft, copyright, etc. Then what we're going to say is lead that into the next activity, which would be then to basically choose a personal resource, something they probably own, some kind of digital resource. They could create one as well if they wanted to, and then say, well, okay, what Creative Commons licensing would you apply to this, your particular resource, and then justify that choice. Justify that choice in, for example, we could get them to blog it, so that other people could then comment on that choice.
Obviously, given that they Creative Commons it, they can upload it somewhere. People can have a look at each other's resources. And the Creative Commons license that they've chosen to use and why.
Yeah.
And then if you wanted to get all peer assessment in E, then you could suggest that people write a reflective blog post about their resource, about what CC is, and people can obviously cruise around each other's blog posts, writing comments. I mean, how much that takes is always difficult to predict, but I think it's a pretty decent sort of reflective peer assessment format, and that's our session.
Very good.
Really.
Yeah.
Is this? Did you think of a week as the unit of analysis, or did you think longer?
Shorter. No, I
shorter.
think this is shorter. I think this would be within a week, so we might have 2 or 3 learning outcomes within that week. So we just stuck with one. So
right.
It depends on how we time the course.
Because ultimately we'd want to move on to things like incorporating OER into designs and remixing as well. So across the week you'd probably tackle 2,
and you can go into OER production models as well.
Yeah, and all that sort of stuff.
There's a variety of work from just projects.
Looking at the activities you've got planned here, my question is, same as I asked the other group, in order for me to be a productive member of this, do I need the input of others?
I think that this is the point where it becomes more about, actually being a group of people becomes more relevant, because you're going to want to share and possibly discuss. Whether you discuss that in forums or via blogs, I don't know. So that's where it becomes useful. And here as well, there's no reason why, if it's got a frivolous edge to it, then the results of that could be made public for people to talk about. So if there's a particularly contentious question, it's hot, isn't it? Then there's no reason why people wouldn't start chit-chatting out of the back of this as well.
Right.
It would depend on what it was like. Yeah.
Okay. Comments?
Good. You can just applaud. It's fine.
Looks very good. Shall we give them a round of applause? Yes, well done. Well done.
Thank you.
A final question to this group, which I will repeat to the others, is if you were also the implementation team, and you had to go away and turn that into a real, tangible component of the MOOC, roughly how long would it take you?
Well, to build it in something.
To build it in something. Or in something of your choice. Yeah?
Just 7 tweets in Facebook. No, it's not.
You could do this in a day.
Yeah, it wouldn't have to take very long, because we're not actually creating any resources, so it's just gathering and structuring. I mean, I'm assuming that somebody else is dealing with like users and them creating profiles, and but if we had if the platform was available to us, then actually gluing this together is relatively
half a day to a day. If you could get hold of the quiz, reuse this quiz.
Yeah.
This is already reusable. And this is just a set of instructions.
Yeah. and a space to upload stuff.
So you want a clear day to do this, and you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Well done.
Okay.
Thank you. Can we now cluster around that other group?